What's going on today, guys? Lego Man 213 here, bringing you an all-new 150th scale model review slash custom 150th scale model review. So this is, in front of you, this is the Diecast Masters 150th scale Cat D8R. I knew it was a D8. I couldn't remember what the other part of the model was. So it's the D8R. So this is actually from my understanding, a re-release of an original era D8R from back in the day when they originally first came out with the 150th scale D8R. This is a re-release. I bought this through Cat Shop online, the online cat website. Very nice model, very intricate model, but not at the same time. For those of you who do know 150th scale models, you'll know what I'm talking about. So there is one thing that you guys are probably wondering when I said custom, and that is the limb risers or the forestry kit slash ROPS protection, whatever you want to call it. I've always known them to be limb risers. That's what we call them here in New York on dozers that are, purpose built and used in the forestry logging industry. So this is obviously, like I said, 150th scale D8R. Also a custom one because I did do a custom roll cage, limb risers, whatever you want to call it. So starting off with the model itself, you can see here you have a nice ripper system that actually does go up and it does go down. It also will go down and it will support the machine up a pretty good amount. I mean, my pointer finger, my thumb is a very good example. I can get my thumb in there comfortably. I can get my pointer finger just past the bottom idler wheel there. So it's a very decently sized space between there. Another good example, this is a Dixon Ticonderoga pencil. You can see there. That's how far in she goes. So it can comfortably fit in there pretty decent without, interfering with the tracks and all that. So you could, theoretically pose this, really ripping into the ground and stuff if you were doing a model diorama of that sort. Or if you wanted to, do some sort of pose where, like, the blade is supporting itself up, things like that. You can get some clearance on the bottom there as well. So the blade can support itself as well. So it's a very good, strong, sturdy build overall. You do have some looseness to that, which is to be expected with some of these models. But functionality, like I said, the ripper goes up and down. Tracks, they might do it on my desk here, I'm not sure. Tracks will move. They will move on a rough surface. Smoother surfaces, they tend to not move, but they will move. They are springy as well, but they do, both sides do turn as well. Blade function, like I said, very good. Mine, for some reason, right out of the box, it goes up that high, but will drop down. I don't know why. It could just be me. Could be the weight of the blade itself. But it does go up and down. And then it obviously as well. You can, and when I say you can, it's a very small amount, but you can get it to angle or tilt, left, right, side to side type thing. There is no turning it, to angle the blade left or right. There is none of that, but you can tilt forward like that, or you can bring it back depending on how and what you were doing with the model. And like I said, it does go up. So overall, very nice. You can see here it's in its older era paint scheme. It's not the newer, I believe it's called Next Gen. So it is a little older of a design in terms of decals and the overall paint scheme of the model itself. But taking a look, so the custom part, like I said, roll cage. Cab wise, the cab does not open, but you do have an operator in there as well. And then the roll cage itself, so you can see here, nothing too crazy. You're probably wondering how we did it. So my dad and we did this together. He helped me with it because it's kind of a two-person process where you really need someone to heat and someone to bend at the same time. What I ended up using was 1/8 square stock. It is zinc coated. That was the only downside. Zinc can make you very, very sick if you do breathe it in excess. Little bits won't hurt you, but it's still not good to breathe it in. Anyway, so it's 1/8 inch bar stock, square stock, whatever you want to call it. And all we did was we started off down here on this end, and we put it on where I wanted it, set it there, and then we were like, okay, we need to bend here. So we did a little mark, and we said, okay, we need to bend here, did a little mark, went through, heated it, and we did it in small amounts. So like we heated this spot, let it cool down, let it sit. Then we came up here, heated this spot, let it cool down, bent it over. We also, we did trim, and then you can see the top as well. So this is all metal. The cage itself is all metal. So the machine does have a decent amount of weight. And then the way we connected the center bars together to both sides of the model, or the sides of the risers itself, we did what's called brazing, which is you take a braze rod, which is basically like a solid flux, and you heat up the area where you're going to braze and get it basically bright hot, like an orangish red hot, hot enough that you can melt metal. And then you take the braze and you do what's called braze welding, which is where you melt the flux down into where you are at. So you can kind of see, I'll get that little, maybe, there we go, kind of get that out of there. So you can kind of see those angles, how they're kind of rounded on each corner. Not a whole lot, but you can kind of get that idea. So that is the braze, and then I went through and I took the little die grinder, or a air whippy, whatever you want to call it. Went through, touched it all up, got it smooth. So now, take a camera, you can kind of see. There we go. It is, for the most part, a flush surface all the way around. So very nice, overall aesthetically pleasing. I've always wanted a D8, and I've always wanted a D8 with limb risers, especially they just have that look to them. You can see. So I'm really happy that this turned out the way it did. And all I did was to attach it, I just laid hot glue here and on the back side, and then I glued it on the corners here, and then I just did some here and here as well. You can kind of see that right up in here in these two spots, right where the work lights are. But nothing too crazy in terms. I would not recommend, if you were to do this yourself, I would not recommend using the risers as a grabbing system, just because the model itself has a fair bit of weight to it to begin with. But overall, very happy with the model. Very pleased with the way the risers turned out. Like I said, Dad helped me with this. It was a very, in-depth two-person process that you really need 4 hands instead of just 2. So overall, like I said, very happy with the model itself. Very, very happy with the way the risers turned out. If you have any questions regarding the risers or the color, I tried to match the color as best I could to the original cat color, and I personally think it matches very, very well. So if you have any questions, comment it down below. I can try to answer them the best I can. If you guys want to see anything else regarding scale models, let me know. I have other videos as well of my scale models. I still have to put out part 2 of my collection. I do plan to do that, but with that being said, that's going to wrap up the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Like, subscribe, comment down below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. LegoMan213, out.